is up, you guys? Welcome back to the WrestleDude YouTube channel. This is another collection corner video where I like to show off some of the stuff that I've bought to add to my figure collection. As you guys know, I love to collect a bunch of stuff. If you haven't seen any of the other videos, I'll link the playlist at the end of this video. But this one's very specific. In episodes past, we've sort of done a little bit of everything. You know, some Funko Pops, some wrestling figures, some Toy Story, some stuff in between. This one's very specific. In episodes past, I've talked about with AEW action figures how difficult they are to find at stores, which is where they are mostly promoted as being, you know, but they started out as Walmart exclusive, now they've moved over to like Targets and Myers and stuff like that, and GameStops even. And even then, they were still a little bit hard to find. Until recently, because recently I have bought quite a few AEW action figures from stores. I counted 11 action figures here that we're going to show off today that are going to be going onto my AEW figure shelf over here. I got my new Jon Moxley shirt. I bought a bunch of t-shirts from Pro Wrestling Tees recently as well, which I needed more shirts. A lot of the shirts that I had before I had grown out of in the past year and a half, which is how bodies work, they grow. So yeah, new t-shirts. I did a separate video going over all these, so I'm sure that'll come out at some point too if it hasn't already. So keep an eye out for that. But with that being said, let's get into it here. And before we get started, comment below after I'm done showing off all these, which one of these figures was your favorite. I'm interested to see who wins here, because there's a lot of good ones. I guess I should start off. I'm going to start off with these two first. I got the AEW Tag Team Champions, Scorpio Sky and Frankie Kazarian of SCU. They come with the tag team titles. I got these at Myers. There was actually quite a few figures that I got. Myers is becoming my quiet MVP when it comes to finding AEW action figures, because the times that I've gone there, mostly the pegs have been filled with AEW action figures. Good ones too, as you'll see. Obviously, we have the AEW Tag Team Champions here, SCU. So we've got Scorpio Sky and Frankie Kazarian. At first, I was thinking, should I really get these? But they do look very good, and I do like the championships. So now I have all the AEW titles. I have the Women's Championship, I have the TNT Championship that came with Darby Allin, and now, as you'll see here, I have 2 World Championships, so that's pretty cool. And then now I have the tag team titles. Before I bought these, I actually ordered from Wrestling Customs 24/7. I ordered paper versions of the championships to display with my Lucha Bros figures, but now I have the real thing and I can have the paper ones as backups. But yeah, these look very good. I was very happy that Myers had these coming in the clutch. Let's move on to this one. I picked this up at a local comic book shop. This is MJF. I do like this MJF better than the one that's come out more recently, just because this one comes with the scarf. I think the other one comes with the Dynamite diamond ring, which the ring is cool too, but the scarf, I feel like if you're going to pick which thing is more iconic to MJF, the ring or the scarf, it's got to be the scarf. So definitely having this MJF on there. Obviously comes with a microphone, which looks great. He's got that smug smirk on his face, which I think works really well too. So I'm glad to have him on here. Now, this is where I feel like things started to snowball in terms of collecting these, because I've said in episodes past that with the AEW figures, I mostly just collect like the more outlandish characters. You know, you got Luchasaurus, Jungle Boy, Orange Cassidy, you know, Hangman Page, Hikaru Shida. Hangman and Shida aren't really more outlandish characters, but they have really fun gimmicks. You know, Hangman Page is the cowboy guy. Shida, her action figure, has like the Final Fantasy cosplay aspect to it. Britt Baker, she's like the cool dentist that can kick ass and stuff like that. Here is where things started to kind of fizzle out of control, because I bought these two because I thought they looked really awesome, Santana and Ortiz, and I thought they looked really great. I love the changeable heads. I like that Ortiz, for some reason, came with a flip-flop. I'm pretty sure that's a reference to a match that I do not remember. And then Santana comes with, like, the eye patch. I remember that from the Eye for an Eye match with Jon Moxley, but I think these look very good. But when I bought those, I thought, if I'm going to get Santana and Ortiz, I guess I should try and track down the rest of the Inner Circle. So what I did was I went to a nearby GameStop that I knew had these before because I had seen them there before. So I picked up Jake Hager, which, funny story about the Jake Hager AEW action figures. I remember seeing an MJF in the Walmart before, and I didn't get it at first because, like I said, back then I was kind of on the run of like only buying the more outlandish or very cool AEW action figures. But then I was thinking about it more, and I was like, that was a really cool MJF. I'm going to go back and I'm going to get it. When I went back to this Walmart, all that was on the shelves were Jake Hager action figures. It was like 4 Jake Hager action figures. And when I saw that, I just mumbled to myself, fucking Jake Hager, man. And now it had become a running joke. Every time I had ever seen a Jake Hager figure, I would just look at it, shake my head, and go, fucking Jake Hager figure, man. And then once I realized I was probably going to be tracking down the rest of the Inner Circle, I thought to myself, you know who I'm going to have to buy? Fucking Jake Hager, man. So now I have fucking Jake Hager, man, in my collection. And also, while I was at that GameStop, I picked up the Champion Chris Jericho. That's going to be my second AEW World's Championship that I have in my collection, which, hey, if Chris Jericho ends up losing this championship, at least I have an extra one. But I do like this Chris Jericho with the bandana and stuff. I think that's a very nice, iconic look recently. Jericho's had tons of iconic looks in AEW thus far, but that's a good one. Which means I think the only member of the Inner Circle that I need left is Sammy Guevara, which I'm waiting to find a really cheap one. And also, obviously, I'm taking some time off from buying a bunch of figures, so it's going to be quite a while before I pick him up. So you'll probably see that in a future video, which you should be subscribed to keep an eye out for when that video eventually comes. But yeah, now I have nearly all of the Inner Circle in my collection, and they all look really great. All of these, except for maybe one, all of these AEW action figures look really great. I'll get on to that one that doesn't really look great, but we'll talk about this one. I went back to the same Myers that I picked up the Scorpio Sky and Frankie Kazarian, and I ended up picking up the Matt Jackson that was there because I wanted to pick up the Young Bucks together, but for some reason they only had Matt. They didn't have Nick, so I ended up having to order Nick on Ringside Collectibles. That'll be coming later. I just didn't want to wait for that one to come because then I guess this video would be a little bit too long because I ordered some other stuff too, so I'm guessing it'll all come at once. But yeah, this looks really great. I love the color scheme on this. I think this is from, what is this? Oh, this is from when they were in Cleveland, Ohio. Oh, okay, so this was the gear they wore when they were in my home state of Ohio. Not my hometown, I'm in Columbus. This was from Cleveland, but still a really great attire. I'm excited to get Nick and pose them as so. Obviously, I got my Funko Pop versions doing the same pose on my Funko shelf. But yeah, that was a very nice one. Glad I picked that up instead of ordering it online because ordering them both online would have been super expensive, whereas just ordering one was pretty cheap. Let's see, we got Broken Matt Hardy, another awesome figure. I love how with the WWE, I think it was Network Spotlight Matt Hardy, they had the drone, which Vanguard won, which they have right here. Except with the WWE version, I'm pretty sure all they did was like a little paper cutout as like the hologram that hovers over it. This one they actually molded, I know you can't really see it with the glare, but this one they actually molded an extra Matt Hardy head. So I'm happy that they took that concept and took it a step further. Instead of doing a paper face of Matt Hardy, they did an actual sculpt, and I think it looks really great. I don't know how I'm going to pose this, but I think that looks awesome. I was contemplating whether or not I should buy that Broken Matt Hardy or if I should have bought the Woken Matt Hardy that came out for WWE a while ago, but ultimately I feel like this one has a really good face scan. I hope at some point we do get Broken Matt Hardy in AEW again. I know it didn't really work when fans weren't in the arenas, but I feel like if he made a comeback at some point, now that fans are back, I feel like it could be some really great stuff, especially if like it's after Private Party and stuff leaves him, you know, he loses all of his money and stuff, he goes broke, so then he's broke in Matt Hardy. I feel like that could be pretty cool. And then these final two I also got at Myers. Not the same Myers as before, but another one. Like I said, Myers is my silent MVP when it comes to AEW action figures. Do not neglect your Myers. I guarantee you, I don't guarantee you, but I somewhat guarantee you that if you go to a Myers, you will at least find some AEW action figures, especially around the holidays time. They want to keep those pegs of toys really stocked up so people buy them all. But I picked up Pac. He comes with the steel chair and stuff. a good figure. I wouldn't say the best one. This isn't the one that I have a problem with, but obviously the facial scan I wouldn't say is the very best, but it's still a very good one. I don't think I'll pose him with this face or this hair, like the hair in his face. I feel like that's the bad head sculpt. This one looks fine. Also, I know the complaints of people saying he should be a lot more jacked, so yeah, I kind of agree with that, but all in all, still a very good figure. It comes with the steel chair, like I said. So I now have all of Death Triangle, so I'll pose him with Pentagon Jr. and Rey Fenix. This final one is the one that I have a problem with. It's the Riho. I picked her up the same time I got Pac. The problem that I have with this Rio is, and I'm sure a lot of people do too, is the facial scan. I don't know if you guys can see it. I'm trying to see if my camera will focus in here. Hello? I don't know if... Yeah, come on. I don't know if it's focusing in. Okay, there we go. So yeah, the biggest problem I have with this facial scan is the mouth. As you guys can see, it has the mouth, but it really shows the teeth. The big problem that I have is it doesn't show really anything else. It's the teeth and then a big pink blotch. The thing is, you need to show depth with the mouths. You see how Matt Hardy's mouth is sort of like, has like the hole like going towards the back? If my mouth is open like this, then you're supposed to see depth back there, which is what you see with the Matt Hardy. You don't really see that with the Riho mouth. It's the teeth, and then it's just a pink like wall underneath. And I feel like that's kind of what's putting me off on this. Otherwise, it's a really great figure. I think they did a really good job on the attire and stuff like that. I have yet another extra AEW championship. This time it's the Women's Championship. But I think they did a really good job of the attire and all that stuff. I do think the Chase version is a lot better than this, just because it doesn't have the weird mouth situation. But either way, I was glad to pick this one up just to kind of continue on, I guess, building my roster of AEW action figures. But check out this giant pile over here now. Holy crap. Look at this. It is stacking up over here. This is all the AEW action figures that I have bought recently. And like I said, I've still got Nick Jackson on the way, along with two other ones that I had pre-ordered, actually three other ones that I had pre-ordered already. And I think other than that, this will probably be the last time I'm buying AEW action figures for quite a while, because the next ones that I'm interested in are Brody Lee and Chris Statlander, and maybe even I might pick up the Best Friends, Chuck Taylor and Trent Seven as well. But yeah, I don't think those ones come out until next year, I think, so it's going to be quite a while, which I think my wallet is definitely going to thank me for. But I thank you guys right now for checking out this video. Like I said, let me know in the comment section below which figure was your favorite, and I will see you guys later.